Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show, where you'll find health and fitness inspiration, motivation, and information shared in 15-minute episodes. Tune in while getting a move on to make leading and enjoying the benefits of a healthy lifestyle almost too easy. It's the Fit 15. And now your host, Catherine Basu.
Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show. I'm your host, Catherine Basu. And over the weekend, if you're tuning in the day this episode goes live, we celebrated Earth Day, and I got to meet a really awesome person who is going to be my guest today. So if you forgot to celebrate Earth Day and give back in some way and try to help out this awesome planet that we are living on, I hope you'll consider giving back to the cause that is near and dear to my guest's heart after listening to today's episode. So who is my guest? My guest today is Cristian Garcia. When Cristian was in high school, he was part of the Marine Science Academy, and volunteering was one of the requirements. In 2012, he came across the Sea Lab and started volunteering there. When he graduated from high school in 2015, he got hired as a core member at the Sea Lab. He ended up working there for 2 years, and he's now an alumni and wants to give back to the organization that did so much for him throughout his youth. This past year, Cristian started Race for the Sea Lab in order to start doing that, and he has some other exciting things that he has planned. So you definitely want to stay tuned so you don't miss out on what's to come. But before we share any more about that, I want to welcome you, Cristian, to the show. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. So we met during your race, the race for the Sea Lab, but before we talk about that, I'd love to have you share more about the Sea Lab itself for our listeners who might not be familiar with it just yet.
So the Sea Lab is a small aquarium or education facility based off of Redondo Beach. What they do is they educate the people on basic marine animals that are off the coast of California, as well as about the water, like pollution. So their target for the youth would be elementary kids, anywhere from like first grade to fifth grade.
Okay.
They just want to teach them, and then they have all these like programs. Key to the Sea is one of them, is where they take them out to the ocean. They do viewings of like birds, and then they talk about the sand and what lives in the sand. So it's a really cool little aquarium, and they have a lot to offer.
Awesome. And then is it open for the public to go check out as well?
Yes, yeah. It's open to the public. They do have school field trips as well. So if anybody ever wants to go visit, feel free to go.
Awesome. Yeah, I need to get down there. I run by it on my run sometimes, but I have not been able to actually take the time to stop in. So definitely need to go check it out because it looks really cool.
Yeah, no, yeah, it is. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff, a lot of animals in there, so it's pretty cool to watch.
So how long have you been a part of the Sea Lab, and what were you doing when you were there? What were you helping out with?
So I've been a part of the Sea Lab for over 5 years, I believe it is now, since about 2012. When I first started, I was a volunteer, so I did basic tours, cleaning of the facility, so like sweeping, just making sure everything's cleaned. Mm-hmm. As the years went by, I kind of worked my way up, so I went from cleaning just the facility to actually starting to care for the animals. And then when I became a core member, that's when my job duties expanded, much more. Mm-hmm. So I was in charge of feeding animals. I was in charge of going. So across the street, there's a refinery, mm-hmm. and that refinery is kind of where we get our animals from because they have these pumps that got to cool water down. So we go across the street to rescue the animals, and I just went over there to rescue any animals that we got inside those baskets where they're held at. And then I brought them back, and I just made sure they were fine. They were all healthy, and they were able to go back out into the ocean. So it was really cool what I was able to do at the Sea Lab, and they've taught me a lot.
Awesome. Another thing I did not know was going on in my backyard. So when you guys do the rescues over at the refinery, what types of animals are you bringing in?
What we find there is going to be sea life, so we can find anything from a small little target shrimp to as big as a usually as big as probably like a horn shark. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
it's a
Okay.
wide variety from between. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I've seen the refinery, but how does that work? So water is being pulled through the refinery and that's causing animals to get stuck there that you guys are then going over and rescuing?
Yeah, so they have these pumps that just need to cool water down, and they just suck the water in,
Oh, okay.
and that kind of in that process that the animals get brought in. And that's not the only we get our animals. You know, sometimes it's donated by other aquariums or they
Hmm.
get transferred. But yeah, that's kind of our main focus is just to make sure that the animals are doing good.
Wow. So how often are there animals that you have to rescue from over there? It's pretty crazy to think about.
It's not. Yeah, no, it's not that often. I mean, there's days where it happens, other days where it's really good. The pumps don't run, but it's all based on the refinery on how it's running.
Got it. Okay. So you've been working there. You felt like it really helped you out a lot when you were growing up and, in those past 5 years. So why did you start this race for the Sea Lab? And can you tell us about that?
So the reason why I started Race for the Sea Lab was because first off, I wanted to give back, but also the Sea Lab needs help financially. So they're a
Hmm.
nonprofit organization, and their main income is based off of donations or off of what are they called, like grants.
Sure.
So it's just I wanted to help them out financially. So I started Race for the Sea Lab. My goal was actually to run the marathon, but back in December I got in a car accident and
Mm,
I hurt my lower back, so I had to stop the training.
yep.
But I didn't want to, stop helping out the Sea Lab. So what I did was I changed the race date to a further, like later on.
Hmm.
So the marathon was in March, and then I ran it in a month later in April. So this past Sunday, and I wanted to still raise for them and bring out the word about the Sea Lab and help bring money back in for them because throughout my youth, again, yeah, they've helped me a lot, not just the job, having a job, but as well as all these life lessons that are just helping me so much throughout my life right now.
Hey guys, that's your halfway point reminder. If you're going for an out and back walk in only 15 minutes, you want to turn around now. All right, back to Christian. Sure. So a lot of good people there besides cool animals, right?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of great people there. Everybody right there is just awesome. They teach you so much, and they care about your success.
Hmm. No, that's really cool. Any special lessons that you've learned that you'd want to share with us or
Yeah, so basically, biggest lesson for me is to improvise. If nothing's going right, just improvise and
hmm
do as best as you can.
hmm Well, yeah, we definitely had to live that out with the car accident, right? And then getting back and I'm sure having to improvise for a lot of things in your life, but definitely for your fundraiser that you wanted to do to be able to give back to the Sea Lab. So,
Yeah,
yep. No, it's a good.
yeah, no, but that I think that's the main lesson I learned from working at the Sea Lab.
Very cool. So, anything else that we should know about just to get people maybe to go out there and visit? Like, what's the coolest animal or coolest thing that they could check out when they were there?
Well, the coolest thing that I think you could watch are going to be the giant black sea bass. Those are really huge. We
Okay.
have about three of them, and they're like deep water fish.
Hmm.
And the coolest thing to do at the Sea Lab is actually be able to feed some of our animal or some of the animals there. So
Okay.
it is a small fee. It is like $2, but they do get to feed the animals. So it's really cool to watch. They get to feed. It's the tide pool. So the tide pool we have, they have bass, they have sharks, rays. They have a wide variety of fish in there.
Hmm.
So that's a really cool opportunity that public could do. And the feedings are, I believe right now they're Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. I
Okay.
think they're Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, unless they changed it.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's like it's really awesome. I've done it so many times, and I still get a kick out of it.
They're hungry and ready for their food and
Yeah, yeah, they get the luxury of being fed every other day.
oh boy, well that's really cool. I have to bring my nieces were visiting this past spring and we were going to go over because it's hard to miss. Like it's got all the the cool paintings over there of all the sea life on the outside.
Yeah,
So
the murals are awesome. They're all over the place in the Sea Lab. It's filled with them, but they're really nice.
gotta get out
But yeah,
there.
you should go ahead. You should go ahead and visit sometime soon.
I definitely will. Gotta see what's on the inside, right?
Yeah,
So
not just the outside. The inside's also where the fun stuff is at.
so Christian, you're still trying to work on that goal even though the race is over. What what else could you tell us about, trying to finish that goal off and then other things that you have planned going into the future for
Yeah.
this?
So my initial goal was to raise $1,000 for the Sea Lab, and I've got to 200. Is it no 300? I believe it's $310 where I'm at right now.
Okay.
Right now, so I still do wanna raise the $1,000. And future wise, since my main focus for actually running, I've accomplished that. So now I do kind of want to expand or do other things because I still want to keep it going. But there's more to come, and it's a lot of planning to do. And right now I don't have much to say about it, but just there will be a lot more.
Okay. So you're going to be combining maybe running and your love for the Sea Lab to try to do something cool. Would that be where it's kind of going?
Yeah.
Or?
So we'll Yeah, so I'll still do some races to help dedicate to the Sea Lab, and then from there kind of branch out to do something else. But I gotta come up with ideas. So if anybody does have ideas, they could go ahead and pass it on to me. That would be awesome.
Yeah. And so I have to ask too, was that your first half marathon, or have you been running before that, or?
Oh no, this was my second marathon. Before that, in high school, I was actually part of the SRLA, so the Students Run LA.
Okay.
And right there, I was training to run the actual marathon. So I've ran
Yep.
the marathon before. I've run multiple 5Ks. I've ran 10Ks. I think this is my second 15K. So it's not my first time having a race, but I enjoy doing them, so I want to keep doing them.
And so that's cool. So you were involved with Students Run
Yeah.
LA, and that was a good program to get you into running.
Yes. No. They were in high school. That was my goal to run with SRLA, but every year I kind of got lazy until senior year. That's when I did it. I was really happy that I did it. It was a good experience.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. I mean, it's I wasn't running that much when I was in high school, that's for sure. So
Yeah, no, me neither. Just till the last year, that's when everything kind of started.
yeah, no, it's really cool. Well, appreciate you coming on the show, Christian. We'll have to have everyone go and follow you to make sure they can stay up to date with your running journey and your fundraising journey for the Sea Lab. So, what are the best places for them to do that? I'll link everything in our show notes, but just if there's anything
Yeah.
you want to just mention quickly for them.
So yeah, so on Instagram, I opened up a page, and it's just at Race to the Sea Lab,
Mhm.
and they could visit the link. The link is actually on the Instagram page. So whenever they go to the Instagram page, the link is right there. And the link for the donation page also has a lot more information on just about the why I started it and what my purpose for it was, and kind of what the Sea Lab is. So if they want a little bit more information about that. And if they want to get in contact with me, there is the email. It's just raceforthesealab@gmail.com.
Very cool. So if we go to the Sea Lab, will we see you if we head out and and come by?
I go in once in a while, but since I'm not working there no more, I'm not there every day. But I do go
Okay.
once in a while, so if they do stop by and I'm there, I'll make sure to say hi.
Yeah, awesome. Well, congratulations on your third place finish in the race on Sunday, and all you're doing for the Sea Lab, and it'll be exciting to follow what's going to be next. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to
thank
follow for
you.
sure.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Christian.
Thanks for listening to the Fit 15. For show notes and more, visit fitarmadillo.com/podcast. See you next time.
Hi, friends. It's Catherine. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and it's inspired you to go and check out Christian's page and donate some amount. It doesn't have to be a big amount to help him get to his goal of raising $1,000 for the Sea Lab after his race for the Sea Lab event, and then go and follow him and see what he's going to be up to in the future to continue to help him support this great organization that as he mentioned, is kept going through donations and grants, and they definitely could use your help. As Cristian and I shared with you today, the organization is not only helping individual animals who are being rescued, but also inspiring the next generation to learn about our marine environment and then also be invested in it and want to take care of it and make sure that we are treating that part of our earth with respect. So, hope you will donate to this great cause and spread the message, share the episode, and share Cristian's page and tag your friends to help Cristian get to his goal. Thanks so much for listening. And if you subscribe to the podcast, I will chat with you tomorrow. Bye.